Welcome. Tim Bartz here, McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. We are here in the house for you. So we are ready. This is, what is today? June 7th, 2022. We don't have too many people left in the dealership, but the one that we do is one of the loudest guys in the dealership, but he'll be leaving hopefully real soon. But anyway, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. But yeah, so we are going to have a great full packed episode today. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of things is transpired in Ford news, update and information in the last week, and we're going to cover a lot of it right here on the live stream. So don't forget, shout out to my members that are in here. You can see those. All of our members are in here. They have the little logo beside their name there that shows that they've been a member, and depends on the color how long they've been a member with us. So want to welcome them in the live stream. And don't forget too, if you know, some of you that are maybe seeing this just came out there and you just hopped in here first time joining one of our videos. We do live stream every week at this time, and don't forget to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So hit that red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed, hit the notification bell, and you can get notified the next time we have another video upload to our channel, as well as when we go live on our live stream. And don't forget to, if you want more information, right down there by that subscribe button, you can find more information about being a member. That's what that join button means. That's if you want to become a member, hit that join button and learn a little bit more information about our different perks, and actually updated it recently to add a couple different perks that we've been doing recently. And one of them is when you're a new member, I send you out an autographed notebook for you, as well as when you are a member 6 months going, I send out a tumbler as well. So a Ford Guy tumbler, and some of those that have 6 months have received those. Some of those just hit 6 months within the last couple of weeks. Those will be going out shortly, but and then we have some other perks in there too, including a special McArthur experience. If you order a vehicle with us, you get the Ford Guy experience as well. So more information down there in the perks. Also, this video is going to be also the audio format is going to go out there on all the different podcasting channels, and there is a list if you're watching this on the live stream of all the different podcasting channels. There is 15 different podcasting channels that we have our live stream currently on. So hopefully whatever your favorite is, just search for Ford Video Guy and you'll be able to find it as well. So pretty easy. Podbean is where we source it to, and that's what houses everything. But it goes out to iHeartMedia, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, even Apple. Got onto Apple. It was a chore, but I got onto Apple, Pandora as well, a bunch of others there too. So now tonight's topic, you can see there's a countdown there. That is when we're going to talk about today's main topic. 30 minutes into the hour, June production information. We're going to go over that at about 30 minutes in. But here at about 20 minutes in, we'll get to our Is It True as well, a good segment that I'm really looking forward to talking about, and getting my take on it as well. A lot of people have been, a lot of scuttle going out there about different things. You have, consumers that are like, finally we can get rid of the dealers, and then the dealers are like, whoa, wait a minute, we're out of a job. So I'll cover it here, and we'll get down to the nitty gritty on that and give you more information, insider information, that some things that I know there, as well as don't forget, check out the different links down there. I do a new video from my Ford Video Guy one where I talked about the power boards that I have on my Bronco. So I talked a little bit about a couple things I like and dislike about it. So you can check that out. And also we did a video under the recent videos. I didn't put the information in there, but that is on the Expedition Timberline complete guide video. It's an hour long. Didn't miss anything, covered all the standard equipment, different packages, part of the 501A, and all that stuff is in that video. And I don't have any links for upcoming videos or any information there because I'm not sure what I have coming up. There's a lot of different vehicles that'll come in that we'll do some complete guide videos on Saturday, and it'll probably take about a week for that video to go live. And then I'm going to try to get to some short form videos as well. And then Facebook, not sure if I'm going to go live or not. We have a festival in town, and they have a festival jam Thursday nights, and I want to try to go to that. So I may not be streaming this Thursday night. Haven't decided yet, but check on our Facebook page, and there'll be an event there if we do decide to do that. Don't forget to mark your calendars for the Maverick event, August 13th, here in Salina, Kansas. It'll be at Lakewood Park. So we've Reserve Lakewood Park. So we're gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of things already planned there. And then don't forget to, I like to highlight, our channel. I kind of feel like he's almost a partner here. He is one of our members, Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. I have a link to his channel down in the description as well. I'm gonna leave that down there because I think him and I go hand in hand. A lot of the same information, a lot of the same thought process behind it, and a lot of insider information between our two channels. So between the two of us, I think you can get a lot of information. So I definitely think if you follow this channel and this live stream, you might want to check out his channel because he does a lot of the same stuff. Also, something that was released this week is 20% off accessories up to $1,000 with an access code ACC20 that ends at the end of the month. Not valid in Arizona and Oklahoma for some reason. So if you live those states, sorry. Actually, if you live in one of those states, contact us. We'll get it shipped here and then we'll ship it to you. How about that? We'll figure it out. Anyway, you can go to accessories.ford.com and order your favorite accessories. Speaking of that, I don't know if you saw this behind me back here. We're going to give this away next week. So here's how we're going to do this. This is just to kind of let you know, this is an IAG Performance lift struts for your Bronco. So let me show you what that looks like. So here's me demonstrating this just a little bit. Put this on my Bronco this weekend. This isn't my Bronco in the image here. It's one we just put onto a vehicle out here. But I put on my Bronco and I love it. So here's a easy lift assist. So those are struts that go on the back and allow you to open that up. So a lot of you don't know, you usually have to pull the two clips and then you have to push it up, hold it in place while you bring the support arm down. You don't have to do that. Those assists, they just help real nice and easy, as well as they help you if you have the top completely down, and it gives you a little bit of assist going up as well. And one of the things I didn't realize on this, that when I watched the video on the install video, is that because this has an assist, on both the front and the back, it stabilizes it so that when those hinges don't scratch up the frame when you're lifting it up and down. So I like it. I installed it on my Bronco on Sunday, and we installed it on the general manager's Bronco today, and that's the one you saw in the video there. But we're gonna be giving this away. So it is $100 if you buy if you don't win the giveaway. So here's how you're gonna to join and get in the getaway. You have giveaway, not a getaway, although I'd like to have a getaway, but a giveaway. So go to fordvideoguy@gmail.com there and put in the subject line IAG giveaway. And IAG, is that? There you go. IAG giveaway, and say I want to be entered in, and you'll be entered in. And next week I'll go through. You have now until Monday at midnight. And then Tuesday, I'm going to start pulling all the emails that I have and email addresses. Put your first name, last name in there so I can announce it next week. And we're going to give this thing away to somebody. Real easy to install. There's a video that comes along with it, tells you how to install it. It took me a little longer on the first one of mine, but the one we did for the general manager, we had installed in probably 15 minutes flat. Real cool little thing. So we're going to give that away this week. And that is courtesy of the Lawn McArthur Performance team, by the way. They're giving that away. They said, hey, you want to give this away tonight? I said, sure, would love to. All right, so let's get into some information here. Got about 11 minutes. So scheduling this week. What vehicles are scheduling this week? Remember, this is the last week of scheduling for the month of May. So I know it's the first week of June, but Ford's this week is still considered May scheduling, and the only model lines that are scheduling is the Transit Connect van and wagon. So if you have a retail order on there, don't forget, if you have an XLT or a titanium, the orders that containing the Sync 3 will not be selected for scheduling. So it looks like basically they're going to be scheduling a lot of XLs, it looks like. But that's the only thing that's scheduling this week. There were some, I just wanted to also let people know about the different order banks and what 22 model year vehicles can you still order right now. So there's a few that are available. Mustang is still available to order. Bronco Sport, the Escape gas version, not the hybrid version, but the gas versions are available to order. Edge is available to order. Explorer, and then all the Lincoln lineups. So Corsair, Nautilus, the 23 Aviator, and then 22 Navigator. So those are still open for you to be able to order. So those order banks have not closed for 22 model year. They are available. They are open. We were told that Explorer could be closing soon though. So if you are wanting a 22 Explorer, you want to get that order in. And let me tell you some other bonus cash that you get if you submit an order. That, you know how we've been talking about price protection, locked in rates and such. Here are incentives and rates that you lock in if you do order right now. So Mustang, you get $1,000. Actually, let me just go through them all. The ones that you get $1,000 on is Mustang, Bronco Sport, Corsair, Nautilus, and Explorer. With the Explorer, you also get, you can lock in 0% for 66 months. So if you want to do flex buy, 66. If you want a traditional loan, 60 months at 0% lock in as well right now. And then on the Edge, you get $1,500 and 0.0% for 60 or 66 months. And Escape, you get $1,500 on Escape gas. So those are available to order right now. Just want to let everybody know that. There were some order guide updates this week. Most of them had to do with the hands-free liftgate removal option. So they're having issues with more and more parts now, and have a lot of them had to do right now. What went on this last week was hands-free liftgate removal. So Explorer, Escape plugin, the Corsair, Aviator, Navigator, all those have the hands-free liftgate removal option added. Means that you're going to have power liftgate, but not the hands-free foot activated liftgate available. So that has to be added to the vehicle. I think even Expedition as well. And then Ranger, we talked about already, but they did put that in the order guide. Halogen headlights instead of LEDs on the Lariat trim. And then they added a couple extras to the Expedition. Signature lighting removal for your Special Edition and Texas Edition packages, as well as your Timberline 501A, Limited, King Ranch, and Platinums. So I'm really sad to hear that. Luckily, mine got built before this change. It'll have the signature lighting on there, but that's looks like they're going to make you remove that, as well as the second row one-touch up and down feature for the rear windows. On the Timberline 501A, Limited, King Ranch, and Platinum, you're going to have to remove that feature as well, so you won't have the up and down. That, to me, isn't a huge feature. One touch for the back windows. I like it for the front, especially when I'm going through a drive-through or something, although I do use a lot of my Bronco. So anyway, so it's a great feature for some people like it, some people it's not as big a deal. Navigator also, 30-way perfect position seat delete option was added to the order guide for the Reserve 201A and the Black Label. So it's replaced with the 24-way perfect position seat. So basically no massaging seat feature, including the rear seat and the illuminated seatbelt buckles. So you will have to add you'll need to select the 30-way perfect position seat delete option 672 and the luxury package number 2, which is option 68T, or it won't be selected for scheduling. And eventually Lincoln will probably do that with all the orders. So just so you know that. All right. Not ready for Is It True yet. So let's go into some Ford news first, then we'll talk about that. So a couple things that I wanted to talk about. One is Auto Trader did put out their best cars of 2022. 2 Ford vehicles did make the top 10. One of them was the Ford Maverick, of course, and the other is the Ford F-150 Lightning. So 2 Ford vehicles out of 10. I think it was 10, maybe 20 vehicles that was in their top 10. So some pretty cool lineup there, and 2 Ford vehicles, which is I'm sure Ford's very proud of that. So also, something that was announced, I can't remember what day it was, Thursday or Friday last week, that Ford is investing more into the Midwest plants. So we're talking about Michigan plants, as well as Missouri, which is Casey, Missouri, and the Ohio plant. They're going to invest more and more. So let me show you a couple different clips that I gathered from social media on that. Mike Levine posted out there that they're doing new jobs and investment in the Midwest manufacturing. 6,200 new union manufacturing jobs added to Michigan, Ohio, and Missouri. $1 billion invested over 5 years to improve the workplace environment. Awesome. And then about 3,000 UAW Ford workers converted from temporary to full-time, and over 74,000 new indirect American jobs created by Ford's investment by the end of 2026. $3.7 billion invested in plants across the Midwest. So plus, don't forget, we got a new Mustang coming, a new Ranger coming, as well as a new commercial EV that they haven't announced yet. So let's talk about all those different states. So in Michigan, it says they're going to have 3,200 new union jobs with $2 million investment, and that's where they're going to make the new Ranger and the new Mustang, and then increase production of the F-150 Lightning. Like seeing the increased production of the F-150 Lightning. And then in Missouri, which is the Casey plant, they're adding a third shift. So they're going to have 1,100 new union jobs to help produce more transit vans and e-transit EV vans. So $95 million investment there to increase to a job 3 right there. And then in Ohio, we have a new commercial EV that's going to be built in Ohio, 1,900 new union jobs, $1.6 billion investment. And they did show an add-on that they're going to do for that, for batteries and such like that. So they're adding on to that plant there, which is really cool because they talked about at one point, they talked about the Ohio plant was going to be shut down years and years ago. Now it's going to be thriving and producing even more commercial EVs for Ford. So that's pretty cool to see there. So pretty cool news there. Also, something else I found, there's an article, it is linked in the description, as well as an article from Ford Authority on the Midwest Plants too. That's down in the description. But there's one on the solid state batteries. So I did kind of printed that out here. So I'm going to read a little bit of that. The link is in the description. We'll read the whole article. Basically, Ford has made multiple investments into solid state battery maker Solid Power over the past few years, with the first infusion of cash coming in 2019, followed by a contribution to a $1 million Series B investment round last May, as it aims to utilize this promising technology in production vehicles in the coming years. Ford's joint venture battery manufacturer partner SK Innovation is also working on Solid Power to manufacture solid-state batteries. While the company previously said that it may have a pilot production line ready to test in early 2022, that process is now complete, and the very first pilot line from Solid Power has arrived, the company has announced. So this is a little bit different. So this is basically, they're going to have a solid state battery that has are more energy dense than traditional lithium ion batteries, lighter, and feature more energy density, which is expected to help provide more range than the current EVs offer. So everybody wants more range on these EVs. This is a way for them to do that. So they got a couple companies that are helping produce that. They did say Solid State or Solid Power is going to be shipping these out to the BMW and Ford in the they think by the end of the year. So we can see that. So I know that one of the things that Johnny had mentioned earlier was thinking about leasing in an EV, and that's a possibility. You might want to trade that in for another EV once we get further range by these Solid Power so batteries, and if they can handle more and they last longer and get you more range, it's always a good thing. So anyway, that article is, of course, you can read that article if you want to down in the description. I need to move this over here a little bit. Another article that I wanted to show is something that was kind of funny, I thought. The electric, I think it's how you say it, the link for their article is down in the description, for the F-150 that can charge a Tesla. So it's kind of funny. So I know Ford's poking fun at this, but Ford actually is providing a charger, an adapter for being able to use a Lightning to charge a Tesla. It can charge other vehicles as well, already has that capability, but Ford has provided a cord that plugs into the F-150 Lightning that can charge any electric vehicle with a J1772 plug, which is standard EV connector in North America. Early Lightning customers get a mobile power cord, a 1430 to 1450 adapter, and also the J1772 to Tesla adapter. So Lightning customers can lend a hand to all other J1772 electric vehicles too. Only Tesla vehicles don't use a connector. Instead, Tesla uses its own proprietary plug. And so that they have that. So somebody had posted in there that they noticed that they got an extra adapter. It says, I took delivery of my 22 Lightning, and as I'm going through the included items, I found an adapter to charge Teslas. Interesting find. If I find any dead Teslas, I'll let my Ford Lightning come to the rescue. Also included was an adapter to help with all Ford mobile chargers. I guess Ford wants us owners to start a national mobile charging network. So, and Ford actually brought this out and showed some images where they could charge a Mach-E from a Lightning, but they have the adapter for the Tesla as well. So I think that's kind of funny. Great article. If you want to read the rest of it, it's down in the description down below. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the Is It True for this week. I have a little bit of time here. Here, I got 30 seconds. Let me look at any questions here that I missed. Don't forget, if you have any questions for me, you want to tag at Law McArthur, all one word. Make sure you spell McArthur correctly. If you're wondering, it's right there in the logo there in the lower right-hand corner. If you want to know how to spell McArthur, tag at Law McArthur so I can see it easier, because it does tag me. And so David said they are trying to get a bargaining chip for this fall. Ford cannot survive a strike. So anyway, okay, so all right, so we're ready for the Is It True for this week. So and I know Johnny's already talked about this, as well as a lot of other people in the industry has talked about this, but there was an article that went out this last week, kind of show you the headline of that. So Ford CEO says zero negotiation pricing transactions necessary for EV business. And if you could see that under there, it says Jim Farley says the company has to build out its infrastructure to support online delivered zero negotiation sales. So that's kind of the quote. So Road and Track had an article that went out, and this is kind of a little information about the article. It shows that image there from the launch. And it says the Ford brand will build out its ability to offer 100% online, fixed price, delivered to your door sales for EVs. CEO Jim Farley said, as noted by the USA Today. So that's actually a little deceiving, because that is not what his quote says. It says right there, delivered to your door sales, which implies taking out the dealership. Dealerships won't be involved. It'll be just like Tesla. This is awesome. We can get all of our Ford EVs this way. Well, let's read the USA Today article and see what it actually says. There we go. Did I get that? Okay, there we go. So down there at about the second paragraph down, it says, we've got to go to no non-negotiation price. We've got to go to 100% online. There's no inventory at dealerships, meaning pretty much everything. If you wanted to get a new vehicle, you got a custom order. It goes directly to the customer. And what that means isn't delivered to the door. It means that it goes directly to the customer it was ordered for, is their intention. And 100% remote pickup and delivery, that's related to service. That's Ford's pickup and delivery is their service scope there. So picking their vehicle up for service. So, but one of the things you don't see in Road and Track's article, because even if you go here, they actually mention the rest of that phrase and that the quote there, but they do not tell you about the second part of that quote, which is what I'd like to read right now. So I'll go back to that USA Today article. So it says this, if you look at that last paragraph, then we have this opportunity to use our physical presence to outperform competitors. I think our dealers can do it, but the standards are going to be brutal. They're going to be very different than they are today. So Farley is not saying they're not going to involve the dealers. In fact, they believe that it's the dealers that can make them stand out and have a higher rating down the road when the Teslas are breaking down and the Teslas struggle to get theirs fixed. Ford has the dealers that they can go back to, as well as the Ford dealers that can go over the vehicle with them and demonstrate all the features. There's a lot of tech on these vehicles right now, and a lot of people that don't know how to work them. And so I think this is a good thing. So I don't think dealers need to worry, not good dealers. I'm actually ecstatic about this, because what this is going to do is it's going to differentiate the dealers that want to do things by the book, that want to do things correctly, and is willing to help the customers out. And they're going to stand above the others, because they're saying it's going to be brutal. They have to be able to non-negotiation price on the EV. They have to sell them at MSRP. They cannot mark them up. I'm all for that. They also have to provide a good customer experience. So when that vehicle gets delivered, they need to be able to go over all the tech and how to use their vehicle and use it correctly, talk about the battery, about the charging, how to properly charge the vehicle, and then have great customer service like remote pickup and delivery when they're having issues with their EV vehicle, and giving them another EV vehicle to drive while they service their vehicle. And they can be done that because the technicians have to go through even brutal school and training for that as well. So I think this is a great thing. We were gonna they did do a call yesterday. General manager did tell me that Ford held a dealership call yesterday to address what Jim Farley spoke about last week, and that Ford says that while they have no intention of cutting out the dealerships, the EV standards will be strict. While those standards were to be released in August of this year, they will be revised and be released at the dealer meeting in September. So we'll get more information in September on this, but the dealers aren't going to be cut out, but they will be held to higher standards than what they currently are, which I think that's kudo for Ford. And as a dealership that tries to be transparent and do things by the book, I'm applauding this all the way. I think it's a good thing, and I think Ford's got a good thing there. So 5 minutes left, so let's answer some questions before we get into this week's topic. We got about 5 minutes. I did see the Lawn McArthur tag many times above, so we'll go back up. All right, so Louis said, my build week is supposed to be June 27th. That's good. When will I receive my email with a build day? About a week, 10 days before that, you should get. But contact us. I think you have your order with us, if I remember right. Not sure. But if you do, contact us. We have been seeing some of those dates being moved around. Even my Lightning was supposed to be built on the 13th, and I noticed this weekend that it moved to the 15th. So even the week before, they can sometimes move a little bit. So that can happen. So. All right, so Vols said, did the expired X plan for shareholders occur because Ford no longer has problems selling vehicles? Expired X plan. I didn't know about the shareholder. I don't know a lot about shareholders, even though I do have shares, but I didn't know about that. The X plan, I guess probably because I get D plan, but I know in D plan we get 2 a year. I think even you had said, I think that you get 1 a year. And it refreshes every so often. And so I'm not sure how that all occurs. I wouldn't be able to answer that. Sorry. All right. Landrick, did I say that right? Do you have Maverick allocation numbers for this month yet? I do. Going to go over that in just a little bit. Actually, I might have to get that page over. Forgot to put that page to the side because I knew I was going to need that. And the numbers that I have are from last week. We do they go over and tell us what our production numbers are supposed to be, or allocations, and then we can put in what we call supplements, which means we want more if they become available. So if something happens and a dealership within the region can't fulfill theirs and they have extra ones, then sometimes they reward us with extra supplement allocations. So we haven't received those numbers yet. We should receive those this week. At some point, I think by Friday, we should get that, but I do have the preliminary numbers for that we'll go over in just a little bit. All right, so John said, just got my Lariat with luxury package and first edition package pushed back from June 13th to August 8th. Wow. Will I ever see my car? Yes, you will see it. I want a year anniversary will be September 17th. Yes. Yeah, you'll see it. I mean, once you get a VIN number, and I've had other people ask that too, that mine gets pushed back. I see that people aren't getting theirs. I have a VIN number. Is that going to really be built? If you get a VIN number, it will be produced for that model year. So you do not have to worry about that. The people that don't have a scheduled build date yet are the ones that would be concerned more than anybody else. All right. Weatherman said, hi, I ordered from Portsmouth, Ford in New Hampshire, April 23rd. Outer Banks with floor liners and splash guards. It went from code 19 to code 10. How much longer before a build date would you guess? It's hard for me to tell. Really depends on whether or not your dealer has allocations. Just like for us, Bronco Sport, we're not getting any allocations this month. Well, we'll talk more about that in just a second. But I mean, so it just really depends on the dealership, how many allocations they get, where you're at in line, if there's any constraints on yours. So it's really hard to tell without looking at your dealership's orders and such. So I'm not able to tell you that. So JC, I do agree with you. that we do know that if you sign up with the new EV and you want to do that, if you're going to be a Model E dealer, you're going to have no markup. That is a given. We know that's going to be a fact, and so all for that. We're doing all of our ordered vehicles at MSRP. You know, so we're okay with that. Don't have an issue with that whatsoever. You know, and with a new name match as well, you're going to see less vehicles being marked up, and you're going to see less vehicles not going to the people that ordered them. So because it's going to be a lot more strict on any of those COVP orders. So all right, so 39 seconds. All right, so NASA, so Yanadi loves NASA. Okay. I ordered on April 17th a Platinum. When do you think I will see a build date? Again, it's hard to tell, but if you just ordered April 17th, I'm assuming F-150, it's going to probably be a little while. We're seeing a lot of our December ones still need to be scheduled for us. But you know, they are building 68,000 F-150s, so it could go a little quicker than that. So all right, Mike said, McArthur is awesome. No local dealer comes close to how McArthur treats your customers. By the way, you should be getting a check in the mail. I think I talked to Kyle already. Hopefully he reached out to you. But all right, so let's get into this week's topic, which is the production information that I have received. One of them I want to talk about is the COVP name match update. We talked about that last week. It just June 1st went to 75% effective for it's a rolling 6-month average from January to June, so that's gone into effect now. So any orders that have to be COVP, it takes all those orders. So you know, it's all model lines, not just. I was thinking it went from each model line would have its own percentage, but no, it's for all of your vehicles that you have that need to be name matched. And they did notice, interesting news, about 4,000 orders were canceled after they announced that you would have to hit 75%. So you can tell there were some dealerships not playing by the correct rules. We didn't cancel any, but there are dealers out there that were nervous, and they did cancel a bunch of orders, so you can tell they were put in there incorrectly. I really wish instead of doing this that they just go after the dealerships that aren't doing things the right way. But anyway, so Ford has a way of doing things, and I can't question that. But and they said a majority of those were F series, and they said even within our region there were over 500 Super Duty orders within our region that was canceled. So good to see that. So hopefully people start playing by the rules, and it will affect them. And so that's something we probably will get into in future weeks is, you know, how to make sure you order from a correct dealership so that you don't have to get into this situation where if they don't get their COVP match, a name match, how will it affect your order in the future? Because they get suspended for 3 months and not able to take retail allocations, which affects those people that have vehicles on order. So you definitely want to make sure you're working with a dealership that plays by the rules. Anyway, moving on. Also, they mentioned vehicle on wheels. There are about 2,000 vehicles currently out there that are waiting on chips. So usually the vehicle on wheels is their kind of their verbiage for that. It means those are vehicles that are waiting on chips, microchips and such to be put in their vehicles. Mine was one of those for a while. Now has that, and it should be on its way. So that is also going out there. So there's over 2,000 out there with vehicles on wheels. So all right, so let's get into the order bank, the retail order bank page. So there was a page that Ford gave us, and I don't think I can put that up. I was going to, but so I'll just show you that. So they gave us this little stars there, show us what months those model lineups are going to be, the order banks are going to be opening up. But I have it kind of already onto a little sheet here, so we're going to break down real quick and go through this, and then we'll get into the production information for this month by model lineup. So the Maverick build out is for 22 is October 21st. And so what we'll probably see is July will be the last allocations for 22 model year Mavericks because the order bank will open up August 15th. A lot of us already know that date. Bronco build out is November 11th with the order bank, 23 order bank opening August 15th. That's going to be a busy day. Maverick, Bronco, Mach-E will also, order bank will open up August 15th as well. So that's going to be busy. Transit van, 23 model year order banks have already opened. They opened up May 31st. Super Duty, October 17th for the 23 model year. So that's when you can put a new order in for a Super Duty. They're going to be producing 22s into December 21st. Explorer is somewhere in the middle of August. Looks like it could be August 15th as well. So again, we're able to order 22 still, but the 23 order bank will open up mid-August. Transit Connect is going to be August 15th as well. We don't really take a lot of Transit Connect orders, so we're not too concerned about that one, but yet there are some people out there that do want to order Transit Connect. Bronco Sport, they're saying they actually didn't mention it in the dealer meeting, but I have seen some information where it could be the beginning of August. So either August 1st or maybe even the 15th. Edge will be July 18th. So we got a couple in July. The Edge and F-150 as well as the Ranger will all be July 18th. So Edge, F-150, Ranger is when you can order the 23. Now remember, the 23 Ranger will be the it will not be the next gen Ranger. So keep that in mind. Next gen Ranger will be out in Europe for 23 model year and US in 24. So I want to remind people of that. Expedition order banks open up June 15th. That's next week. Order guides haven't even come out yet. I did send out something out there that I really like that hopefully maybe the order guides will be available. That might be a good clue to us at how early the order guides will be available before you can actually order based on what we see for the Expedition. Order banks open the 15th. That's just a week away. When is that? Next Wednesday. So we're 10 days away from that now. But we have not seen an order guide yet for 23. So we'll be curious to see that. So hopefully within the next week, I'll probably have a video out on what's new for the Expedition for 23. Ranger, July 18th, mentioned that. Escape, they did not mention anything for Escape, but yet there was an article by Ford Authority that said it's going to be September 19th for the 23 Escape, as well as mid-September for the hybrid version 2, and we have no information on the 23 Mustang yet. So there you go. There's all those information. So now let's dive into by model lineup. And sorry if this bores any of you. I'll try to run through this, but I don't want to miss anybody. There are people that are looking for just Maverick information, but there are also people that have been on this live stream wanting F-150, Super Duty, and other model lineup information. So here's we'll break down starting with the Mustang. And Mustang is going to be scheduling for the month of June for August production, about 2,850 units, including 750 GT500s, and that'll be a 50-50 split between the base and the carbon fiber track package. Also, this month is when you can add the ice white appearance package or the performance package level 1 for your retail Mustangs. So now we can now add that to, weren't able to do it late availability. Now those two packages are available on your retail orders. And for constraint information, oh, I forgot to put the pictures in there. Okay, I'll just pull them up here. I actually have images of all of the constraints so you guys could see them. Forgot to do that. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, so let me run down the Mustang. Do we have some Mustang information? Thought I had Mustang. There it is. So Mustang constraints, pull that up, move them over here. The only constraints we have, convertible is constraint to 10%. So very heavy for the coupe. Mach 1 600A is 25%, whereas it's 75% for the 700A. So it gives you a good clue if you have a Mach 1 with whichever package you have, how likely you are to get scheduled there. So 25-75 split between 600A and 700A for the Mustang there. Escape gas and hybrid is going to be for August production. 12,500 units. That's a lot for Escape. So that's a pretty good number there. But what's funny is one of the pages said it was going to be 12,500, but then the main page that had information on said 6,000. So not sure if maybe it's 6,000 gas, and then the other 6,500 is split between the hybrid and the plug-in. No, actually they said plug-in will not be scheduling for the month of June for the Escape. So if you do have an Escape plug-in hybrid order, just take the month off. You're not going to get scheduled for the month of June. Constraint list on the Escape. Kind of tell you how that looks. Not too much here. All gas, less hybrid, and plug-in 100%. So that's not a constraint. Plug-in hybrid 0%. So that's kind of what I just told you. Bronco Sport will be producing for August build dates. And also it says to remind us that September will be build out for that. So 6,000 units for August. That'll be scheduling this month. It does say the base and Badlands retail scheduling only. So dealerships can't schedule stock ones for base as well as Badlands. And then a constraint list on the Bronco Sport. There are really no constraints out there, which is good to see because Copilot 360 Assist Plus and some of the other ones, Moonroof and such, were constraint, but only for stock orders. So right now they're saying no Copilot 360 Assist Plus for stock orders, also no Moonroof for stock orders, no base, no Badlands, and no optional Big Bin wheels. So, but for retail, no constraints. So they're going to basically leave all those parts for those custom retail orders. Edge, not scheduling this month, and then August will be build out for the Edge, and also to remember the Edge orders with adaptive cruise may take longer to schedule. Well, we know at least another month, right? And then this features on the Titanium Lux 301A, ST High Package 401A, and is included in the optional Ford Copilot 360 Assist. We've mentioned that in prior episodes, but if you haven't watched any of those, I wanted to make sure you know that. Also to note the rear seat entertainment is no longer available and will not be selected for scheduling. Mach-E will not be scheduling this month, just so you know that. So if you have a Mach-E order, again, take the month off. Bronco, they will be scheduling for August build dates, about 6,000 units. Something to take note of the Bronco: no wild tracks and no Badlands with the Sasquatch. There is a wheel constraint. The wheel they make for the Sasquatch package, which is also the same one that's included in the Wild Track, are made in China, and they're on lockdown right now, so that you will not be able to order those. So that if you have we're seeing a lot of the orders that we're waiting to get scheduled are Wild Tracks and Badlands. And so we do have a couple of people with Badlands without the Sasquatch that actually was going to lift them up over the others, since the Badlands with the Sasquatch cannot be scheduled this month. You do not want to take that off your order because that will lose your price protection, by the way. So you don't want to do that. Constraint lists, the hardtop is much better, 65%. And I think that includes 2-door and 4-door. 2-doors are at 17%, so they really want to focus in on the 4-doors. So if you got a 4-door Badlands non-Sasquatch, you're looking pretty good there. We have somebody that I don't know if she's going to be on, if she's on the live stream tonight or not, but she's going to like hearing that. 2.7 liter engine is at 76%, which is a good percentage. The front locker is 73%. The full-time four-wheel drive, that's your advanced four-wheel drive, is 74%, so not really constrained there. We already know about the Sasquatch and the Wild Track. Even though it has a percentage here, it's really zero. Modular front bumpers at 41%. Tow package is at 44%. They've told a lot of us to take them off their orders, so it's about 50-50 there, whether you have the tow package, whether or not you'll be scheduled. The Safari bar is 17%. Lux package is 46%, so almost a 50-50. Paint protective film is 2%, so you need to take that off if you have that on your order. Raptor's at 5%, Everglades is at 7%. So there's a breakdown of the Bronco there. And Bronco Raptor was not be scheduling this month either. All right, moving on to Explorer. They are scheduling for about 3,000 units for August production, which is a pretty low number. There was an option code change to the technology package for job 3 orders. So 22 Explorers for ST, King Ranch, and Platinum. It is the option code changed from 65J to 65K. So you might just want to make sure, the premium technology package, the one with, it will not be selected for scheduling. You will need to make sure, if you want to be selected for scheduling, that you get the one without the multi-contoured seats. Otherwise, you won't get scheduled. Expedition, August production, 9,000 units. And the constraint list on Expedition, pull that up. I don't think there were a lot of things on the Expedition. Panoramic Vista roof is at about 75 to 85%. So if you have a Panoramic Vista roof, it's the only really constraint there. Other than the rear climate control, which you need to make sure you have that on as a removal, as well as a second row heated seat removal, as well as the something else. Oh, the hands-free liftgate removal, the multi-contoured seat removal. It's not really funny, but and the light sandstone luxury leather, Carmelo luxury leather as well. So that's on that platinum. And then multi-contoured seat delete will need to be put on your order as well. So there's a lot of things going on there for the Expedition, on especially those platinum editions, if you have any of those constraints. So those are constraints not listed on the constraint list. They just have to be put on the orders now. So a lot of things happening to the Expedition there. Moving on to the Maverick. So August, we're going to be scheduling June for August scheduling about 6,000 units. Remember, September will be billed out, so July will be what they'll be scheduling for the rest of the production for 22. So at the end of July, probably mid-July, you'll know whether or not you're going to be pushed to 23 or if you have a 22 order. This month, 50-50 split hybrid EcoBoost. So we've been seeing a 60-40. Now it's gone 50-50 for hybrid EcoBoost. The numbers that they gave us of possible orders that could be selected, which it's not going to go that way because I'm going to send an email. But it was a 50-50 split there. So constraint list on that. Nothing's changed on the Maverick. Same percentages as last month. Your tonneau cover, your soft folding is at 12%. Your hard trifolds 3%. Hard roll-up is 2%. Bed mats 2%. Protective film 2%. Take all that stuff off your orders, folks. If you haven't already, and you haven't been scheduled, bed tray or spray and bed liner is 37%, about the same as it's been. Bed tray liner 1%. Bed extender 3%. Now, if you want to make sure your 22 order goes into 23, you can leave those things on there because it probably will not get built. XLT luxury package is at 14%. Lariat luxury is at 13%. Splash guards is at 4%. So again, take that off if you want to get built. The hybrid, we know is 50-50 this month, even though it says 40 on there. Copilot 360 is 32%. So there's some of the constraints for the Maverick. Ranger is going to be scheduling this month for August production, 6,000 units. 524 of those will be the Splash Sand Edition. We're not getting any of those for some reason. Constraint list for the Ranger. Let's pull that up. I think it was only a couple things. XLT series is at 100%, and the Splash Sand Edition, if you have one of those, then it's 100% as well. So, and that's they did say 302A is stock only. Must take. So anyway, so they are allowing you to do XLT 300A. So looks like XLT is what they're going to be scheduling. So if you have a Lariat, you have an XL Ranger, then it probably will not be selected for scheduling. F-150 is for July and August. 68,000 units going to be built for F-150. Constraint list. Let's look at that real quick here. Don't think it's changed too much. There's a lot on the list. Super Crew is at 80%, non-Super Crew 20%. So you can see Super Crew, non-Super Crew mix there. 4x4, 78 to 80%. So you can see, so about 20% two-wheel drives and 80% 4x4. 3.5 liter hybrid engine is at 11 to 14%. The 3.5 V6 EcoBoost is at 35 to 40%, while the 5.0 liter V8 engine is at 25 to 30%. They didn't mention the 2.7, which means if you have the 2.7, you're not constrained. No issue there. Max recline seat, 0%. Tonneau covers, all of them, 0%. The optional spray and bed liner, 0%. The 6-spoke dark alloy wheel, 20-inch wheel, that's the optional wheel for the sport package, is 9%. Wheel well liners, 0%. Take that off your order. Trimmer package, the 400, 401, 402 is at 1 to 2%. Very low number there. Your appearance packages, XLT black appearance package is at 7%, very low. Lariat black appearance package is at 4%. Platinum black appearance package, 1%. STX black appearance package, 2%, not much better. 360-degree camera package, 14%. Pro Power on board, the 2.4, the what's standard on the hybrid is at 6%. Just weird, it's standard on the hybrid. what is the hybrids? 14%, whatever. Twin panel moonroof is at 19%. Heated steering wheel, which is included in the 402A, 502 to 701A, 801A, and 900A, is at 16%. Constraint there. And there's a lot of things. I have some information on the F-150 that you need to make sure you remove. I had someone that emailed me earlier this week. We talked about it. Auto start stop removal needs to be added to your order. If you have the active, the Copilot 360, Copilot 360 active, then you need to add the Active Park Assist 2.0 removal. So you'll still be able to access Blue Cruise, but not the Active Park Assist. Multi-contoured seat removal needs to be added to your order. So currently, if you have, a Platinum, Limited, King Ranch 601A, you're not going to be able to get the multi-contoured seat on your vehicle. Also, the Max Recline seat needs to be taken off of your order. That is an optional package, an option that you can add, not include any package. You'll need to remove that. They will not be selected for scheduling, and they will actually take that off your order. Carmelo interior on your Platinum 600 and 601 is no longer available to order. We're optional. Unscheduled vehicle orders with Carmelo interior will not be selected for scheduling. And then adaptive steering feature is no longer available to order. We're optional. 600, 601, 700, 701. Unscheduled retail orders with optional adaptive steering will not be selected for scheduling. So, and then also the Raptor interior on the change on the 801A. With that blue interior, I believe. Carbon fiber applique is still optional. So there's some few things on the Raptor. So if you have a Raptor, you might want to check that out. But so those are constraints on the F-150. Raptor, 1,500 units for July, August production. And maybe the last scheduling for the 22 model year on the Raptor. So just so you know that. Blue interior package, 18%. The Raptor 337 performance is at a 20% constraint there. Lightning, F-150 Lightning, there is June cleanup waves and final 22 ordering going on. So there are a few slots, it looks like, open for dealers that still have allocation. So there could be some June cleanup waves coming through. So if you see that, that's not a shock. That is actually possible there. Multi-contoured seat removal option on the Platinum was added to the Webdo. So it looks like if you have a Platinum, you may have to have the multi-contoured seat removed. I don't. Although it would be nice. Super Duty, July production, 3,500 units, which is pretty low for Super Duty, which is a concern. I know there's a lot of people out there needing a Super Duty scheduled. Look at the constraint list on Super Duty, just to make sure that your order can be scheduled. Moonroof is at a 22 to 28%. That's a twin panel. Your Platinum running boards is at 18 to 24%. 6.2 liter engine is at a 20 to 30%, whereas the 6.7 is at 60 to 70%. Don't mention the 6.7, or actually that's not the diesel engine. 6.7 liter is at 60 to 70%. And then the M275 axle electronic locking that you find on your X3J, X3E, and X4M, those are your cabin chassis, is at 20 to 24. And your Lariat with the quad beam LED headlight, fog light, tail lights is at 25 to 35% constraint there. So, all right. And then to the ones that most people maybe not care about, Transit Connect van is not scheduling, but the wagon is 200 units. There is a constraint list. I mentioned if you have the Sync 3, they won't be selected for scheduling. That's a constraint for those. E-Transit is going to be scheduled, has August startup, 150 units. Transit, August startup for 1,700 units. So that's what they'll be scheduling for. And on the Lincoln side, retail and stock orders with the hands-free power liftgate. We mentioned that earlier. You need to make sure you take that off. And Corsair is scheduling this month. There are 2 model lineups for the Lincolns that are scheduling: the 23 Aviator and the Corsair. Those are scheduling. Nautilus and the Navigator are not scheduling for the month of June, so you know that. And then Aviator, there's nothing new in a way of things. The hands-free liftgate delete, you'll need to make sure you do that on the Corsair as well as the Aviator where it applies to your order. So, all right, so I covered all that. So let's get into some questions for you. Oh, and if you want to know how many we're going to have, the Maverick, we have 20 allocations. You can tell why I've been waiting to talk about that. So Ford, with the dealership that has 20 orders, you're making us look really bad with our customers. 20 allocations, that means 180 of those orders we'll still have to schedule for the month of July. That's not going to happen. So I know it's for a month and a half, month and 3 weeks, but 20 units is not going to work. So hopefully we get some supplemental units there. 20 units will barely get our June, July, and half of our August orders taken care of for hybrid. And on the EcoBoost orders, we'll get a bunch of, I think we're into November, December. I think we're into December orders now. So we'll get a lot of our December EcoBoost orders, but they won't even touch our January ones. On the F-150, it looks like we have 49 allocations. Actually, we know we have another 21 above that, so you're 70. We have 70, looks like, for F-150, which are good. We need that. Super Duty 8. Expedition, looks like we have 14. 1 Explorer. 2 Rangers. 3 Broncos. But we have 3 Broncos that should carry over to this month, so we should get 6 Broncos because we didn't fulfill our allocations from last month on those. So, which we can actually look at that. What allocations didn't get scheduled? Looks like some escape allocations will get moved over as well. So we're going to have actually quite a few Bronco allocations. I think they're actually showing those in there. So it looks like these numbers not quite updated. Not all of them are updated, but anyway. So yeah. So there you go. To the questions. Let's see. James had a question up here. Is it true the Maverick plant in Mexico is closing for 2 weeks in July? I did hear that. Probably the reason the production numbers are low. We know that they last month scheduled for 2,800 unit for the factory. So that does, when they usually do about 6,000, they plan on 3,000. That does sound about right. Like they're closing for a couple months. So, or a couple weeks. And, that could be one of the reasons they may be closing is they may be, planning for 23 and running a couple 23s through. And that might be why they're doing that. So, keep that in mind there. So, and John said, if pushed to a 23, what's that do to the price? We don't know yet. So we'll get more information about that in the coming months. I'm assuming that you're going to be price protected if you have a 22 that rolls into 23. If you change your trim, if you change your motor, that will probably affect price protection as well as it could affect your actual order date as well. So it could affect both of those. I know on the Bronco they mentioned that if you change things and you switch from different trims, that you'll lose price protection. So that could happen for those as well. So we'll just have to see. We'll get more information. What do these numbers on my order mean? F-150 Lariat R1. To be honest, I don't know. And 124, 56 sub. 526 is when it was submitted to the plant. I know that. And then RET is a retail order. W1E is the body code. That's a Super Crew 4x4. 157 is your wheelbase. You probably got a 6.5 foot bed. And then the next number is that 208 M7. I'm not sure what that all means. 501A would be your package. So you got the 501A equipment group, that mid equipment group for that. And then Frey should probably be your last name, of course. But so yeah, so there you go. So it's some of those numbers I can tell you what they mean, but not all of them. So I'm not sure. 1022 might have been when you ordered. So anyway, how many Mavericks scheduled to be built in June? Well, that was scheduled a couple months ago. So I think June was supposed to be 10,000 units, if I remember right. Somebody might correct me on that, but that's what I believe, if I remember that to be correct. All right, D-bomb. If a dealer agrees to X-Plan pricing and it expires because your truck takes too long to get built, will they still honor it, or can they refuse? Okay, if a dealer agrees to X-Plan pricing and it expires because your truck takes too long to get built, will they still honor that? Probably not. You need an X-Plan number to get to use the X-Plan pricing. So you are required as dealers, as part of that, to get the X-Plan pin from the customer. So we would need that number. So if that X-Plan pin expires, like I have one that had an order. What was it? I knew that it was being built March 28th. Thought it would be here in April. If I had went and got my D-Plan number, it could have expired. But I waited until it came in. Then once it comes in, I'll then submit and get my D-Plan pin number. So you should wait until the vehicle comes in to get your X-Plan pin. All right. Did I miss any other questions? Probably up here. Suresh said, "Hi Tim, great info. I am in Toronto and I got my VIN and it says in production. What would be the ETA?" You need to figure out what your build date is. So it should be, once it gets built, it should be about 4 weeks after that for ETA. So if it says in production, it's hard to tell. It does take them 2 days to produce the vehicle, but if it needs other things put on, or if it gets put off the side for a chip holder or something, it could take longer. So once it's released from the plant, it takes 4 weeks. I should say that. So William said, Tim, did you say how many allocations your dealership has for the Maverick? I know it's, yeah, so I mentioned that it's supposed to be a 10 and 10, 20 total. Get me started. How many Mavericks scheduled to be built in June? Okay, yeah, I think I answered that. If I missed any questions, if I missed your question, tag me again. I apologize. All right. KDT says I'm at priority code 2. Does that mean I will get my Maverick built this year? Not necessarily. It does mean that they want to prioritize your order because it's been passed. Usually priority 2 is when if they go to give you allocations, they base the allocations on certain orders, and usually it's those priority 2 orders are the ones that earned your allocations. But because of constraints, that order might not have been selected, and so because of that, then it would be pushed off, and so it may not, so it'd still stay at that priority 2. We noticed a lot of our priority 2s were ones that in previous months earned allocations for us for that. I'll get to yours, Mike, in just a second here. Oh yeah, okay. All right. So Tim, what a difference a week makes. My Bronco is shipped to McArthur. How accurate is the ETA? What do you see as arrival date? It is hard to tell, because we have seen that a lot of vehicles come out of Michigan are getting like funneled into one place. We've seen that with Maverick as well as F-150 and with Bronco. They're kind of funneling in one place before getting on the train. And we've been seeing that sometimes could take a short amount of time or can take a long. We had an F-150 that stood there for 3 months. It shouldn't happen on most vehicles, but some of them it does. So let's look yours up real quick and see what it's saying today. Mine hasn't updated since the 29th. I'm kind of curious to see if it actually got put on a train. I'd love to get the rail number on mine, but I don't have any information. M44L. All right, let's look yours up. As of the 4th, it says ETA the 19th and the 25th, and it's saying it is at the ramp at the assembly plant. So according to this, we do have a rail car number. CTT is in Tim, X is an X-ray, 691765. So that is the rail car number for Norfolk. Here, let me put that in here. I'll put it in here for you if you want it. There you go. And of course, remember, people, I can only do this to people that have orders with us. So it seems like every week I get that where people want me to check orders from their dealer. I can't do that. So Jerry said, how do you ask Ford to increase your allocation since you mentioned your orders are so much more than what was allocated? Well, we beg and plead. We put in supplements. Like what we do is if we know we have 200 orders and they gave us 20, we ask for 180. supplements. So that tells Ford we have 200 COVP orders. We need more. And so we just, but you guys know the way, way it works. Ford just does, we try and we ask, but if they're only producing so many, they divide it up on all the regions. And then, so, it just happens. I don't know. There's not much we can do, really. We beg and plead, but that's about all. I got my Maverick scheduled back to the week of June 27th instead of the week of June 20th. Is that a bad sign, Tim? We see that happen a lot with constraint issues, part issues. We did see on June 27th a lot of the XLT luxury packages and Lariat luxury package were scheduled for that week. And if they're constrained to 14 and 13%, that some of those orders might have got pushed back, or pushed up. And so yours got pushed from the 20th to the 27th. My feeling was that they planned for 10,000 units for June, that some of those were going to be getting pushed back, and we are seeing that. So that's pretty common. Mike, thank you for that there. Says, as always, thanks for the dedication to Ford customers enjoying the Maverick, and people love it. Yes, a first edition. Those look awesome. All right. Whoa, there's a lot of them in here. A lot of questions. Okay, let me run through these. Dealer did not attach my day one reservation to my order. I now have 2 orders. The one I want does not have my reservation. Someone used my reservation to order something different. I'm not, Chuck, I don't know if you're talking about the Maverick or what you're talking about, because early on there were reservations, but to be honest, that reservation didn't really mean anything. If you had a first day reservation and you waited till the last day to reserve or to order, your order date's all that really matters to Ford, wasn't your reservation number. So on the Lightning and on the Bronco, a reservation number meant something, because that meant those are the first people that should get their orders and they didn't have to rush in to put their order in. But on the Maverick, it really didn't matter. It basically, doing a reservation sent a lead to the dealer to know to contact customers about trying to do an order with them. You still had to do the physical order with them. So now if it has to do with a Lightning, that's different. I just don't know what model you're talking about there. Suresh said, hi, Tim. Great info. I'm in Toronto. I got a VIN. And says, okay, yeah, I think I answered you earlier. All right. And then we have NEF said, should I wait for my 23 Ranger or get the 22 now? Will there be any changes? There'll be some changes, but not drastic changes. There won't be a refresh to the design or anything. 24 is where we're going to see a whole new next gen, but not 23. So there could be a package change or something like that, a color change, but otherwise, I would stick with your 22 if I were you. But all right, Keith, one of our members, says if you didn't get a pen before May 31st, you can't get a pen. It will expire at the end of 22. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Good information. Thank you. Rob, another one of our members, says, great job again, Tim. Thanks for the info. No problem. All right, and then Wes said, how many 23 Lightnings do you think will transition from reservation to order this year? I don't know. I'm really not sure. I know they want to ramp up production. I know that, so I just don't know how many. But Clarence, another one of our members, says, with a July 25 build week, 4th delay for MAV, Hybrid, Lariat, all 3 packages, first edition, is that among the last possible builds, possible September delivery? No, they're building through August. So there'll be 22s that will be delivered, at the end of November. So no, there's July 25th isn't the last build week. Like I said, they're scheduling for August build dates this month, and then next month they'll schedule for September and October build dates. All right, Jenny, one of our members, says, my Maverick Hybrid supposed to be built this week, but I didn't. Whoa, I just missed. Sorry. But I didn't get a build today date yet. Any reason why? Not sure. Sometimes those emails aren't 100%. I would contact your dealer or Ford customer support. They should be able to tell you that date. I noticed, I didn't get an email on my Lightning. I got one finally that says it's supposed to be scheduled on the 18th, but then mine has moved twice since with no email. So I just, I'm able to look it up as a dealer and see that like this last week it moved from the 13th to the 15th. So, so hopefully it stays there because that's just next week. I do have a window sticker, which is kind of cool. Window stickers don't drive though. I'm just saying. All right, my Maverick. Okay. Deke, is that Deke? Says thanks for another great live stream. I'm learning a ton. Good, because from my end, I feel like I'm just rambling on and I'm just not making any sense. So I'm glad that somebody's getting something from this. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know. Newburn Wolf said happy to be watching live again. I've been away for several weeks. Yep. And if you don't watch it live, I can tell there are a lot of people that watch this recorded, and so I'm glad I can be help for you there. And if you're not able to ask your question because you watch it recorded, but you had a question that maybe I didn't answer, don't forget, email it to that fordvideoguy@gmail, and I'll try to get to those. So I have 30 emails already. I haven't done been responding the last couple. Actually, I responded yesterday. I was caught up pretty good yesterday. All right, Steven said, Tim, what will that rail car number do for me? Well, you can search up that rail car and put in that rail car number, and I think you're able to track when it gets to certain points on the rail. So I haven't done that myself, but I've heard that you can. I think I had some links to some different railroad companies where you can track the rail cars. So if you Google that one and maybe Google that name with tracking in there, I bet you have a link and you can put that rail car number in there and might be able to help track it. So at this point, it says as of the 4th that it was at the ramp. It wasn't, but it was at. Looks like it was put on that rail car, so it should be on its way now. All right, at the rate Maverick hybrids are scheduling, how many of the ones you have left do you expect to get moved to 23? Well, we'll know at the beginning of July. My fear is about 150 is my guess. So if we get 20 allocated this month, we'll have 180 left, and let's say we're lucky enough to get 30, maybe 50, maybe have 100, 120 left, 130. So kind of sad, but so, and I've had some people that have been upset with us, but we took the order. We as a dealer do not know how they're going to be producing and the numbers ahead when we take orders. Just like with 23, we're going to take orders in 23, and we have no idea the production numbers and how many allocations we're going to get each month. That's really up to Ford. We just take the order, and it may not matter if you go with a local dealer, even if maybe they only have 10 orders. But if they only get one allocation a month, it could take you 10 months. I mean, it's really hard to tell. As dealers, we have no control over that. So. All right, so let's see a couple other questions. Did I miss any? I missed a bunch. I'm trying to get to them. All right, here we go. Is that Han Solo? I like the name. Hey, Tim, does the Super Duty axle constraints, it give a percentage on each one? No, it just mentions that axle on all the different configurations. I have a 450 on order for 7 months now. Thank you. I think it has to do, for a while I had to do a 450s, but all those were 350s. And I think there was one 450, but it was a cabin chassis 450. All right. Chris said, hi, Tim. You talk about the Bronco restraints. I like the Badlands, but what about any info on the Outer Banks? There are no constraints on Outer Banks. We're seeing a lot of Outer Banks schedule. If you have like a Lux package or a hardtop, those couldn't affect your order. Two-door, like we noticed the percentage on the 2 doors was a little bit lower. So if you have a 2-door Outer Banks, that could affect you. But if you have a 4-door claw top Outer Banks non-Lux package, then that shouldn't be constrained for you, and you could look at moving your order up. And a lot depends on how many orders your dealership has in front of you as well. All right, Scott says, hey, Tim, order dates currently getting scheduled. All right, so Scott said, hey, Tim, for what order dates are your Broncos currently getting scheduled? They mentioned, what were the dates? I'm trying to hold, because I'm behind on my notes here. Bronco was for August build dates. So this month they'll be scheduling for August build dates. All right. And Steven said, Tim, so the emails indicating the 19th through the 25th aren't accurate. No, they should be. Pretty close. I mean, it is that's their prediction. So usually they do figure it out once it gets put on the rail and the ramp. That's usually when they figure 4 weeks from that date. So the 19th to the 25th, usually it gets on a rail, only takes about a week till it gets to Kansas City. And then it's been a couple weeks once it gets to Kansas City. So once it gets to Kansas City, we'll have a better guess on when it will be. All right. Lena said, I'm so excited. My July 27th, 21 order is in production. Plus I have my window sticker. Cool. Wes said, my dealer was told this do not have the infrastructure to handle 12 lightnings. What does this mean? Should I switch dealers? Do not have the infrastructure to handle 12 lightnings. I'm not sure what they're talking about there. I mean, I feel like on the lightning that they are going to try to go by when the orders are. So by the time date and time stamp, like they did with the Mach-E's when they first were ordered. So on EVs, they really try to go that way. And that's the reason why, if you're looking at it on most of your EVs, there's not a lot of packages. There's not a lot of things you can add. Like on an F-150, you can build 125 F-150s and not one's the same. Whereas on the Lightning, like right now, we're seeing a lot of the Lightnings that are configured the same way. A Lariat with a 511A, there's only one other package you can add. Pretty easy. They're making it that easy so they can try to go in order by when you reserved your vehicle. So I don't think it's going to matter which dealership you're with. They're looking at those by the timestamps more than they are the dates. So they're doing it differently than they do most of the other models. For that reason, I don't think it matters what dealership you're with. Like I've said in the past, I think it's more important when you have a Lightning order with a dealer that it's with a dealership that's not going to mark you up. Seth said, my Maverick is supposed to be built this week. Can you look it up and see what day? K43D. Gotta refresh it. We'll look it up. One of Kyle's orders. Bam. Looks like June 8th. Tomorrow. It's supposed to be built tomorrow. All right. So tomorrow is birth date for your vehicle. All right. So it'll go into production tomorrow, and it usually takes a couple days, unless you have like the lecture packages and such, which could take a little longer. All right. So 97 Cobra said, Tim, any info on a stop ship issue at the Flat Rock right now? I have a 614 GT500 blend date currently. No, I don't think there's any issues. I know they were running some of the 24 Mustangs through the line. I did know that. I heard that. But I don't think there's an issue with the producing vehicles through there. No. Now, there's been an issue with vehicles coming out of Flat Rock, going through a certain checkpoint on the rail and kind of getting stuck and taking a little longer, but all right. Rachel, I saw here, it says, send them cookies. Maybe that will help. Didn't you get cookies? You should have gotten cookies. Yeah, I bet you got cookies. You need more cookies? You got to talk to Mitch. Anyway, Chuck said, my day one order was for a Bronco. It was not attached to my order, to my actual order. Got a schedule for one with reserve. Okay, so you were talking about a Bronco earlier that I did not order. Oh, so you basically took somebody else's order is what you probably did. So somebody must have canceled and they gave you their order, and you so affect that. So okay. Well, and I don't remember what we were talking about earlier. Sorry, I'm trying to get through questions, and so I don't remember exactly what we were talking about there. But send me an email. I can help you out a little bit further there if I can. Really, it's difficult when you have an order with another dealer. It's kind of hard to tell. But Judy, welcome, Judy. I never get emails from Ford, counting on McArthur to keep me up to date. Yep. always let me know. I can help you out. Derek sits right across from me, so he actually was wanting to go through orders, and I told him no really reason to right now on most of them. That are you waiting for scheduled build dates, because we don't have anything scheduling this week. So, all right. So, all right. Any other questions? Steven said, so the 19th through the 25th aren't accurate as other. No, as I mentioned, that was probably put after I'd mentioned that already. But yeah, those dates should be accurate, just like with mine. Mine's saying the 20th to the 26th, I think. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting mine to be here probably more like the last date than the first date because of the bottleneck in Kansas City and pretty much all the places. I've heard Chicago's having issues too. A lot of the areas where they get dropped off and they're waiting for a convoy to pick them up. They're getting bottlenecked there, and it's taking a little while. So anyway, so yeah. But yeah, so you should probably figure, I would probably lean more towards that last date than the earlier date. For me, that's what I'm planning is, probably the 26th before the expedition gets here. All right, so Donald, Tim, I know you probably said this already. Will the dealer contact me if I get pushed into 23? They should. We plan to, but we'll be talking about that. You guys will know in the live stream if you follow the live stream. We'll discuss when those orders are getting pushed. Like we said, July is when they're going to schedule for September and October. The build out scheduling will be in the month of July. So probably by, I would say, the week of July 11th and 18th, at least by the week of the 25th, is probably when you're going to know. By the end of July, that week, the 28th, you'll know whether or not your Maverick was scheduled for a 22 build. So by the end of the month, by the 31st, you're going to know if you got scheduled as a 22. If you didn't, your order is going to get pushed to 23. And sometime, usually about a week or so before, is when they're going to duplicate those orders to 23, and then you'll need to go in and reconfirm some things, look at the new order guides, confirm those orders, do new COVP, I assume, information with the new order to Ford for 23, that kind of stuff. So it'll be almost like placing a new order, but yet you're going to be in place where you were before. So that's the main difference there. Patrick said, great info as always, Tim. Do you think that the ROVP process will be required when ordering in 23? Yep. My dealership laughed at me last week. They said no such thing as RVP. They don't know what they're talking about. Yes. So some dealerships call it COVP because 90%, in fact, all the model lineups except for EVs and the Maverick are called COVP. So that's probably the phrasing that they use. But for the Maverick, it's ROVP, Reservation to Order Verification Process. Now for 23, they might push it over into the COVP program so that can be included in the name match. I could see that happening. So next year for 23, it could be a COVP, but it's all the same thing. It's just what different place you go on the contest incentives area. Either you go into the COVP to submit your COVP, or you go into the ROVP. It's just two different places, but they both mean the same thing there. So, Tim, where's your mousing? I don't know. All right. So Vicky said, another member, Tim, please. Okay. Check my Maverick Lariat Luxury 360 D39S. Boom. All right, it was sent to plant and it was supposed to be scheduled today. So we're getting a lot of them scheduled right now. All right, so yours was supposed to be produced today. So it went into the plant today. They're probably painting it as we speak. Well, not as we speak. Probably painted it earlier today. And tomorrow morning, it's probably going to be headed down the production line to get everything put on and everything. So all the engine put in and everything else like that. So, yep, good thing. Getting close, Vicky. So about 4 or 5 weeks. Hopefully it'll be here and we can help deliver it for you. So Monica said, I never got a build today. Just got an bill email Shipped email yesterday, finally. Oh, good. Yeah, usually that's not 100%. Like I said, I got one on my Lightning a couple weeks ago, but it kept moving even since then, since I got that email. So I'll probably get an email once mine gets produced next week for my Lightning. All right. Judy said, thank you. I think it's Eddie. Go by Eddie. Thank you. So we got your Bronco Sport scheduled. I don't know actually when that's supposed to be built, but I'll have to look it up. Pretty soon, right? All right. Judy said, gotta jump off. Thank you very much. No problem. All right. Appreciate it. Parts, thank you again for keeping us up to date. We appreciate you. Thank you. By the way, Rachel is one of my Twitter followers there, and I follow her on Twitter, and somebody that we both have in common is possibly going to switch their Lightning order over to us. Hopefully that works out. He's checking with his local dealers. Hopefully that does work out, whatever's best for him, but he possibly might be switching his Lightning reservation order to us. So yeah, so thanks for letting him. He probably found out of us from you, Rachel, so I appreciate that. Appreciate you. So all right, any other questions? 8:24 already. All right. Any other questions? So I think we're doing pretty good there. We got through everything. I got through all the news and updates that I wanted to and answered as many questions as I could. So pretty cool. By the way, Rachel, you have to become a member to get the red Bronco icon. That's an exclusive member perk that you get, plus a lot of other things. So you should think about being a member. So I pay it forward. So by the time you have been a member a couple months, you've gotten enough things thrown at you and sent to you that made up for the money that you spend there. But anyway, and we have a new perk that I included. So check out those perks if you're thinking about being a member, because I added a new one. So if you're thinking about ordering a vehicle, possibly ordering from us, it might actually be, you might really enjoy becoming a member, because there's information about a special Ford Video Guy delivery experience for those that are members. So that it includes some specialized experience for me, as well as delivering it for as well. So I think you'll like that. So yeah, all the members got to put your icons in there. Put your Ford icons in there too. So I don't even use mine here. Oh, did we lose the Ford icons? There we go. How about that? All right. So yeah. Anyway, enough of that. All right. Suresh has a question. Hi, Tim. Great info. I'm in Toronto. I got my VIN, and it says in production. What would be the ETA? I have one. Okay. So if it went into production like just recently, like let's say it was when you know it's been sent to the plant, or that's the build date. If you have the actual build date, like let's say like the one earlier, it was supposed to be built today. That means it goes to the plant today. They start painting it. Usually it's a 2-day process to get it actually produced in the plant. So usually it gets painted one day, and then they put it together the next day is usually how that happens. And then it's shipped out unless it needs anything for the bed. So if you do have a Maverick, and let's say it was in production, usually when it says in production, that could mean that it's sent to plant. So like a lot of these that were scheduled for next week say sent to plant, that's usually when it'll say in production once it's submitted to the plant. And that's usually when the window sticker is produced. So it can actually be in production for a couple of weeks. But if you know when the build date is, then that helps you because then you can get some special information on the when you get more information on that. So once you get like this one here where it was selected to the scheduled build date was June 7th, we know that it's went in to start getting built today, built tomorrow, and then as long as it doesn't need anything extra part of the bed, then it should be released from the plant on the 8th or no, the 9th. And so then at that point, you know, it's about 4 weeks from that date. So once you get the actual release date, that gives you a little bit more information. So it's kind of hard to tell from there. So Eddie became a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll connect with you because I've already kind of given you some of the Ford Video Guy experience already, helping you with your order there. And when it comes in, we'll do some special stuff for you as well. So. All right, so and Charles, member for 3 months. Yep. So, McArthur, if I get pushed to 23 Maverick, would I lose my spot if I switch to a hybrid? I think so. Either, we don't know for sure yet, but my assumption is that you'll either lose price protection or you'll lose your order date or both. But we don't know yet. They haven't let us know yet. Wes, I love McArthur green as my model year 23 lightning color. Not sure what the question is there, Wes. Not sure what the colors. There may be some new colors for 23. More than likely there will be, but. All right. So Rachel, here you go. I'm gonna help you out. So on the video, there you go. Let's see my. So if you go right there on the video, on any of my videos, there's a join. Click on that and get you a little more information about our membership there. So, and then you can, at that point, then you can join. So there you go. So on any of my videos down there where the YouTube channel is and where you subscribed, right to the left of that is the join button. So anyway, so yeah, just like Eddie did there and Charles and yep. All right, any word on the few hybrids with reported poor solar? I do have an email into the brand manager, have not got anything back yet. I would assume what's going to happen either a TSB is going to be released or a recall on those. I would think a recall, you know, because then that way a recall usually means you get notified by the dealership to come in and have it checked over. So I'd assume pretty soon we should be seeing a recall on that. So any other questions? Yes, I'm learning Twitter from Rachel, and she can learn YouTube from me. So, help everybody out. So I do need to add some more icons to our members there, just for fun there. So anyway, all right. Oh, the eruption green for the Maverick. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Looks good in the Bronco. Here, let's see. I had it earlier. Where's that video? So there you go. That's that eruption green right there on the Bronco. Pretty cool. By the way, Rachel, if you missed this, I don't know if you're on at that time, that's what we're giving away. The IAG hit assist. I have it on my Bronco. Pretty cool. Wife loves it. Didn't feel like she actually won't lift it up because here's the other part of it. This is the best part. That's pretty cool. You don't even have to use the support arm anymore. You have to pull down a little bit. That's pretty cool. Anyway. And that model looked pretty good too. There's the eruption green, and that's the IAG. We're giving that away, so don't forget. For all of you that want to have a Bronco soft top, this is it's $100. I mean, if you don't get the giveaway, I think it's worth it. Very easy to install as well. Instructions are inside the box. You just click on it. It has a YouTube video. But we're giving that away next week. So make sure fordvideoguy@gmail.com in the subject put IAG giveaway and say I want to be entered in. Make sure you put your name in there in case I can't tell from your email address. So because I want to announce next week, you guys have until Monday midnight. Actually, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Okay. But at some point between then, now and then, do it tonight. That way you're entered in, or as soon as you watch this video, and that way you can get entered in for that giveaway. And again, that's Long McArthur Performance providing that to the YouTube channel. So you can thank Blake for that as well. Anyway, so, all right. Anything else you want to talk about? Don't forget, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. You guys probably all are. Hit that notification bell so you can get notified, especially coming up when we get new 2023 order guide information, you're going to want to have that notification and subscribe, because I'll have videos like crazy going out on what's new, as well as how you can configure your vehicle if you want to order all these different model lineups. August is going to be crazy because we'll be doing Maverick, we'll be doing Bronco, we'll be doing Mach-E, Bronco Sport. I'm not going to be able to sleep in the month of August. Plus, we'll be taking all these orders, so it's going to be crazy. So, as you said, Scott, oh, yes. Tag Apple on McArthur if you have a question. If I missed your Scott. Okay. Oh, here. My F-150 Power Boost Platinum is scheduled for production week of July 4th. When should I expect a delivery? So, if it's built July 4th, probably, again, once it's been released from the factory, about 4 weeks, it'd be a good guide. So, I would probably say first week of August, somewhere around there. Be a good guess. All right, Patrick said, "Will Tim please and give us an update on your grandson?" Yeah. So my grandson has spina bifida, and so like a couple weeks, was that last week? I think it was last week. Talked about that, and yes, he has spina bifida. So because of that, a lot of kids with spina bifida, he actually had the in utero surgery, so he didn't have to have a shunt put in. So we call him twice born. So in fact, his first birthday is coming up, because we call it his spina bifida day, is when he went and had in utero surgery to have the fix and put a patch on his back. That actually happened July 10th. So that date's coming up. So we always celebrate that every year, plus his birthday. But because of other kids with spina bifida, he is able to walk with braces and such. But he does have to have medicine to help empty his bladder. Well, a lot of kids with spina bifida typically do have to have, they struggle with being able to empty their bladder. They have UTIs, urinary tract infections. So he did get a urinary tract infection, doing good. They just usually have to find out which bacterial it is, so they get the right antibiotics for him. And he's been taking that, been doing good. Had been having to do catheterizations about every 4 hours with him, which is not fun to do or to see, but he's taking it like a champ. My daughter, I commend her. She is so strong and so good to do that with him, and so that can be emptied and he can get rid of that UTI. So, but he's doing good. So thanks for asking. And then the new grandson, he is doing well as well. Theo is doing pretty good. Little issue with some acid reflux right now. But trying to figure that out with him. But he's healthy. He's doing good, and he's eating well and everything, and he's growing, and that's always good. So yeah, everybody's doing well. So thank you for asking. So appreciate it. All right. Any other questions for me? And I appreciate everybody's consideration for that too, and everything. So I appreciate it. So all right. If you do, on the phone, you actually just click on the little arrow and then it pulls it down so if you're on a phone watching, at the bottom if you're watching it sideways, you want to go into that portrait style. So then you come up, then it pops, then all the comments and stuff will be down there. It'll be down over there if you want to become a member. So maybe I'll come up with a graphic for next week for if you're on a phone versus a desktop, because that image was on a desktop computer or a laptop, but I need to maybe give you guys an image from a phone so you know how to become a member if you do that. But it's right down wherever you subscribe, whether it be on a phone or a desktop or a tablet. It's right in that same area. Also, I think I have a link in the description. I believe. Might have. I'm not sure. I think I have a link in the description too. Yes, there is a link in the description. So if you open the description, click on that link, it goes to the channel page. And from there, it should be right below the graphic art up there. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you very much. But yeah, so hopefully that all works for you. But I do appreciate you guys watching. It's hour and a half, hour and 36 minutes now. So appreciate all of you. And I do want to thank you for all your questions and for sticking on this long. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and especially my members out there and all the followers. So again, thank you very much. Hope you guys have a great week. And again, don't forget, not a lot of scheduling this week. So go have some fun, enjoy the weather, enjoy the weekend. And then next week is when we'll see scheduling continue back up for about all the model lineups for June production information, for most of it for August production dates. So hopefully good luck for you guys for next week. And we'll hopefully get you guys scheduled and get more and more of those Mavericks on the road. I did actually look at it. I was kind of curious. We have 30 Mavericks in town, that people that purchased Mavericks here. About every day I see a Maverick driving around, and it's real cool. I feel like I have this special bond with the Maverick. When I see it, even if I don't know the customer, the driver, I wave, because I feel like I have a special bond with the Maverick vehicles in town. So anyway, but I do appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Mavericks. You do have them, and your other vehicles that you have too. If you have a Bronco and all those other great vehicles that Ford has. Ford's got some good vehicles right now, and really exciting to be a Ford owner. No matter what vehicle you have, I know you're probably enjoying your Ford vehicle. So again, thanks for watching this live stream, and we're listening to the podcast. See you guys next week. Have a great week.